The subject at hand, the recession, certainly something experienced by all Americans, something with a global impact. And so did it impact the restaurant industry? Absolutely. I think there were growing trends towards people dining in a different style. I think there was an increasingly diminished interest in high formality. And there was, people wanted to dress comfortably and in a relaxed way. People wanted to not feel as though there was an absolute format or proper way. And I think that once the recession came and those highly formatted restaurants survived on a large, what I would describe as a passive income for most people, those passive incomes began to kind of disappear. People didn't have so much money to spend. It forced two things: extravagant meals where you paid for a specific experience beyond, say, just the food and the wine became less and less available to most people. I think also in hard times, people look for comfort more. And I think that we saw a trend towards more comfort-based foods, things that were not so formatted and challenging, more direct pleasure, made you feel good at the moment. Here at Alta, we took a lot of the formality out of the dining experience. We wanted people to feel very relaxed. We wanted to give them an opportunity to eat something with a high level of technique and composition and thought. We wanted them to be able to experience very good wine, but we didn't want them to feel that they were somehow part of a performance. They were here to relax, kind of let their worries go, feel relatively at home. It didn't limit what we did compositionally with the food, but it alleviated them of feeling like they had to be dressed in a particular way, behave in a particular way. I mean, everybody's well behaved and pleasant, but it wasn't over formatted. And also with the small plates format, you kind of had a lot of choice. You could, as I said earlier, you could have a very small, quick meal. You could have a long meal. You could eat things. The price point varies. Price point meaning the cost of the dish to the diner there was a wide margin of it. And we also purposely tried to be imaginative with less expensive ingredients instead of turning towards truffles and foie gras and caviar to kind of bring an idea home. We tried to apply more technique to simpler ingredients, hence leaving the price point, what you pay for the dish, lower. And that helped bring people in, because the other thing I think that was really nice about small plates that it had never occurred to me before was, because you were eating in small portions, your commitment to any given dish was small. If you got something small and you loved it, you could get more of it. If you didn't love it, you weren't committed to a huge plate of it. You just said, oh, not so much. This is good, but I'm not crazy about it. Order the next thing. And that was nice. Instead of having to have 12 oysters, you have one oyster. And if you love the oyster, you can get more, and if not. And you don't really have to call your waiter over and say, I'm not enjoying this so much. You keep moving until you find what you like. And in terms of money, time, and attention, you're not held there forever. So, not to say that I think there are any weak spots on the menu. We work very hard to make sure that each dish is a complete composition that should be really enjoyable and satisfying. But the nice thing about tapas is there's not so much tapas, but small plates is there's something for everybody. We make a point of trying to have vegetarian items, meat items, fish-centric items, and I think that the diner gets to kind of choose those things that they see on the menu that really speak to them, and a lot of choice, and financial and kind of intellectual, the commitment's low. You get to move along, and that's a nice thing. Again, I reiterate, we certainly don't like to think that there's anything on the menu that you wouldn't like, but people, of course, are going to have preferences. They're going to have favorites, and by keeping the price low and the plate small, you can dig through the menu until you find the things that really work for you, and then that's what you can concentrate on.